His claim to fame was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. He was the first presidential candidate to have his crowd chant, "Lock her up," about a political opponent.
You know what's exhausting? The constant blame game. Every time there's another tragic shooting, instead of showing compassion, and today, we saw it again. Donald Trump rushed to Truth Social right after another heartbreaking shooting, trying to spin it in his favor. But just like many of his recent attempts, it backfired the moment the truth about the shooter's beliefs came out. So, kindly subscribe our channel for your support. Now, before we break down Trump's failed post and the fallout around it, I want to start with something powerful that Adam Mockler said.
His claim to fame was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. He was the first presidential candidate to have his crowd chant, "Lock her up," about a political opponent. You can bring up the insurrection. Even in the past few weeks, my home city of Chicago, he posted a photo of Chicago being invaded by the Department of War. So the broader point here is Donald Trump endlessly deflects and tries to blame it on the other side when he is the one responsible for amping up the tension in America. And I've spent all of my formative years throughout high school, throughout college, looking to the president, who I'm supposed to be able to look up to, and seeing somebody who's trying to place blame on the left, who's amping up the rhetoric constantly. And yeah, it's not good.
So you think it's Donald Trump's fault for the radicalization on the left that's causing this violent outburst?
That 29-year-old is radicalized by online communities and online algorithms. I'm not going to blame that directly on Trump, but he was caught in a lot of online video game algorithms and all these communities. Donald Trump,
but it's Trump's
10
fault.
years ago, Donald Trump amped up the tension in America.
So he ran 10 years ago, and this guy then 10 years later, somehow you're connecting. Can't you just take responsibility for it?
Oh,
on the left.
But let's not do the he has to take responsibility because he's a Democrat.
I'm a 22-year-old YouTuber. You want me to take more responsibility than the president of the United States?
I want you to.
You know what's wild? Adam absolutely nailed it. And what he said really shows how the right treats politics. To them, Donald Trump is like a fragile little child who can do no wrong. He has to be protected, excused, and never taken seriously. Yet at the same time, we're told to accept whatever he says as truth. Just today, there was another shooting. And once again, Trump's response? A complete backfire. At least 2 dead and 8 others wounded after shooting and fire at Michigan church. What we know, at least 2 people were killed and 8 others were wounded in a shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan. According to police, authorities say a gunman rammed a vehicle through the front of the church during a large service, began shooting, and then intentionally set a fire that grew into a large blaze. Police believe they may find additional victims when it is safe to enter the building. Officers exchanged fire with the gunman and killed him. According to police, he was identified as a 40-year-old Michigan man. Trump, upon learning about the shooting, took to Truth Social and posted, "For I have been briefed of the horrendous shooting that took place at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan." The FBI was immediately on the scene and will be leading the federal investigation and providing full support to state and local officials. The suspect is dead, but there is still a lot to learn. This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. The Trump administration will keep the public posted as we always do. In the meantime, pray for the victims and their families. This epidemic of violence in our country must end immediately. Think about it. Every time there's a tragedy, some people rush to blame the wrong group. We've seen horrific shootings carried out by individuals who openly support Trump, even proudly displaying signs in their yards. Yet somehow the blame gets twisted onto trans people. That's unfair. It's wrong. And I refuse to let that narrative take over. I will push back, I will fight against it, and I will not stand by while voices like Charlie Kirk try to spin this story their way. Okay, now check the Jasmine Crockett clip.
Because I am frustrated that we are having this hearing when we know that this administration can't take care of their own business. As we know, they recently illegally bombed yet another Venezuelan boat, and we may be headed for a war. We know that this particular president has decided that he wants to shake down people as it relates to the First Amendment, because he has filed not one lawsuit, not 2 lawsuits, but he has filed numerous lawsuits. He filed a lawsuit against the New York Times. He filed one against the Wall Street Journal, against CBS, against ABC, against the Des Moines Register. He is doing all of this because he wants to quash any speech that is not appreciative or lauding him, which is pretty much anything that's factual. So let's talk a few facts about these January 6th felons that should still be incarcerated because they went through the process, but because they were doing things on his behalf, of course, he wanted to let them go. So they released more than 1,000 people who participated in the insurrection on this government, many of whom had previous criminal records, like Mr. Theodore Mendenforth, who was convicted of predatory criminal sexual assault of a child, or Mr. Peter Swartz, who had 38 prior convictions, including one where he beat his wife by repeatedly punching and biting her. Trump also pardoned Mr. David Daniel, who was convicted of production and possession of child pornography. Trump also pardoned Mr. Daniel Ball, who, quote, threw an explosive device that detonated upon at least 25 officers during the Capitol riot. He also had a record for, quote, domestic violence by strangulation. I'm not done. Trump also pardoned Mr. Andrew Taki, who sent nudes to an undercover law enforcement officer who was posing as a 15-year-old girl. Mr. Casey Hopkins also received a pardon from Trump, and Mr. Hopkins was convicted of forcible rape. According to court records, he, quote, had forcible intercourse with the victim, choked her to the point of impairing her vision, banged her head into a wall, and urinated into the victim's mouth as he humiliated her. These are the people that he decided to release in the streets of D.C. So if anybody does need to clean up D.C., I would agree it is this man, because he is the one that is causing half the crime that we have. Not only is he participating in the crime, but we know that he instigated the insurrection. And if I did say that I had one issue with the Biden-Harris administration, it is the fact that they did not move forward and make sure that this man was put where he should have been put. Because the last time I checked as a criminal defense attorney, and Mr. Attorney General, you may have a different experience, but I never had a defendant that had 34 convictions for felonies and did not spend one day in jail. Never in my life. And the last time I checked, the party of law and order is the only one that decided that they would be out of order and decided to nominate someone who was not only indicted but was actually convicted of multiple felonies. That has never happened in this country, and it is a shame that we are dealing with it now, and now he wants to tell y'all how to do your jobs.
Okay.
What's your thoughts about it? At the end, it's humble request, kindly subscribe our channel. Thanks.